Hi there, it's Rob from TonysPicks coming at you. CFL action for Week 11. Hey, just before we get to that Week 11 CFL action, I want to say, hey, if you're new to TonysPicks, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here joining me for this week's CFL report. Before we get to that CFL report, for my best bets, the ones I'm making here this week in the CFL, the ones I love the most. Hit the link in the description, gets you right on over to my page at TonysPicks.com. You can find my best bet CFL bets over at TonysPicks.com. So definitely go check them out and join me as we continue to stack the units here this season in the CFL. Let's see how we're doing over there. Go check it out. All right, let's get into this Week 11 action. And we kick it off in Winnipeg. They're hosting the Ottawa Redblacks here in this matchup. And you look at what this Winnipeg squad's been doing. Well, one win, last 5 games. Definitely not playing good football. After that 3-0 start, that's long gone. They need to get some wins with this 500 record, 4-4, home 3-1 is this Winnipeg squad. Fresh off, again, swept by Calgary this year, losing all 3 meetings. Tough way for Winnipeg to start the year. You look at this Ottawa squad, not much better, but they're off of 2 fresh wins, beating Calgary, beating Toronto. So looking for their 3rd straight, getting some points here in this matchup. You look, I'm seeing this at 5 most places. Sometimes you can even, I'm looking around, you can find a 5.5 here. Ottawa, Winnipeg, Drew Brown, you know what he can do. He can throw the ball against this Winnipeg squad that has given up a little bit defensively this season. And, hey, offensively, it's been up and down for this Winnipeg squad. Caleros going out and going down. Strebler trying to run the offense. Tough. He doesn't throw the ball down the field a whole lot. But here in this one, you look, this Ottawa squad defensively, they haven't been great either. Giving up about 8.3 yards against the pass. At home here for Winnipeg, going to be a tough ask for Ottawa to come in and steal a win. But at 5 points, it's close. It's almost to the point where I want to lead Ottawa and grabbing those 5 points. But I think we do see some offense here in this matchup to kickstart Thursday, Week 11. And I see 26.5 here in this first half. And I think that's too little. I think both these offenses can move the ball down the field and punch it in and get some majors and get us over this 26.5 in the first half. So that's the play in game 1. Take the over. First half, Ottawa, Winnipeg to start Week 11. That wraps up the first game I'm looking at here in Week 11. 3 more to go, so stick around, and I'll get to those momentarily. Let's get into the second game we got here on Friday night in Edmonton. The Elks host the Toronto Argonauts coming into town. And you look here in this matchup, I see this opened at about 1.5. It's been bet all the way up. People have been liking the Elks to get themselves a home win here against Toronto. You look at Edmonton on the year 2-6. Toronto is 2-7. Definitely Toronto looking to look forward to Chad Kelly coming back. Not sure what date that's set for. So you got Arbuckle rolling along. And, hey, Arbuckle hasn't been bad. He's definitely kept Toronto in some games. Definitely even have win a game. But you look, 1 win, 2 wins in their last 6 games for this Toronto squad. Definitely not the way they wanted to start the year. Alex, right back to their old self. 2 wins in their last 5 games. So winning last week. So looking to try to build off of that momentum are these Elks. Toronto off of 2 straight losses, losing to Winnipeg, losing to Ottawa, heartbreaking, losing to Ottawa there in that matchup. Tough one. In that high-scoring duel, especially Toronto had themselves a nice big lead early, and defensively and special teams just kind of coughed that up. So what do you get here in this matchup between these 2 teams? As I said, defensively, these 2 teams aren't the greatest. Edmonton allowing 7.3 yards a play, while Toronto's allowing 7.6 yards per play. Cody Fajardo starting to feel comfortable in that Elks squad, getting the offense rolling. Versus these teams this year, this Elks squad averaging 7.7 yards a play. Toronto, the last 3 games, Arbuckle's starting to feel comfortable. 7.8 yards a play for this Toronto squad. So kind of expect to see some points. We know defensively these teams definitely have given up the yardage. Here in this one, though, this line's kind of got out of hand. Maybe Elks by 3, but for me here in this one, it's just one of those spots that Toronto and road games, after those big kind of shootout games, there was an 80-point score. Was it 46-42 last week? So Toronto can definitely give the points. They also can put up points. As I said, Arbuckle's been moving this offense. So only one way for me to go here in this one on Friday night is to grab the Argonauts plus the points. Give me the road dog here in this one on Friday night. That wraps up Friday night's action. Stick around. We got more CFL Week 11 coming right at you. All right, let's get on to doubleheader Saturday here in the CFL. Kicking off with the Hamilton Tiger Cats into Saskatchewan to take on the Roughriders. These are probably arguably the two hottest teams in the CFL right now. Saskatchewan with a 7-1 record. Hey, 3-1 at home this season. Well, Hamilton 6-3 on the season. 4-1 out on the road where they play their best football. So, hey, this should be a good matchup here on Saturday to kick us off in the CFL. You can look at Bo Levi Mitchell having one of his greatest seasons in the CFL, arguably. So, hopefully he can continue there. Injury-wise, definitely this Ticats dealing with some injuries. And that's the issue coming into this one. This Saskatchewan team rolling along and in Mosaic, as I said, 3-1 on the year. And definitely Trevor Harris got this team rolling along, as they say here in Saskatchewan. Looking real good defensively, picking up things as well. You look at Hamilton defensively. They still give up a few too many yards for my liking. Too many. You look at the last 3 games, that's increased a little bit, giving up about 8.7 yards of play over the last 3. Well, Saskatchewan's went the other way. They've shored up their defense, 6.8 yards per play over their last 3. But hey, one of those was against Montreal, and we know what they've been doing offensive-wise, struggles. But Saskatchewan, as I said, continue to roll along offensively, averaging 7.9 yards a play. Well, Hamilton, 7.1. And I think a couple of the injuries on this Hamilton squad are just going to be too much. Saskatchewan at home, as I said, they love their Roughriders here in Saskatchewan on a Saturday afternoon. This place is going to be packed and rumbling along, as they say. Hamilton will be up for the task. I'm looking at this number, and I'm looking at 3.5. Makes me want to take Hamilton here in this one, but I know better. This thing's probably going to come right down to the wire, but it's not going to come down to a field goal. I got this probably more likely 37-31. I think Saskatchewan scores one of those late touchdowns. I like the over here in this one. You look at Hamilton over the last how many seasons? Couple seasons here. 7-0 to the over as a road dog of 7 points or less. So expect Hamilton to get their points as well. As I said, I think late touchdown causes Saskatchewan to pull away. But we're going to take the over here in game 1 on Saturday. All right, on to game number 2. And the game 2 of the doubleheader here on Saturday night. And this is going to see Montreal heading into BC to take on the Lions. Tough task here for this Montreal squad is, hey, they're dealing with injuries. Now they added Bethel Thompson to the injury list as well. Had to sign themselves a QB. We'll see Caleb Evans getting the start here for Montreal in this game. This line's risen all the way up to BC at 6.5. I think maybe by kickoff we might see -7, 7.5 here in this game. Wouldn't surprise me one bit at all. Caleb Evans thrown into the fire, as they say, with Montreal. So what's he going to be able to do offensively? That's the problem here in this one. I think the BC Lions starting to put things together, just playing the better football right now, and Montreal just struggling. I think Caleb Evans having all week to practice might help a little, but defensively, you're going to need a big game from Montreal, maybe even force a couple turnovers. And this BC team, we know offensively what they can do. They've been scoring plenty of points all season long. So for me, it's like I want to grab the points with the big dog here in this one, but I don't know if Caleb Evans and this Montreal squad can do it enough. They're going to have to run the ball, try to play keep away, which kind of lends itself to a lower scoring matchup here in this one. But BC Lions defensively definitely not been the greatest. this season, as they're giving up over 7 yards of play, well over 300 yards of offense. Last three, it's even worse, 8.2 yards of play. So Caleb Evans will definitely have his opportunity to be able to air it out down the field, make some plays. I think if he stays calm, he does have some experience. Didn't look totally awful for his little bit of CFL experience. So I think if Caleb Evans doesn't do so well, I don't think this Montreal squad will be hesitant on pulling him and throwing their fourth stringer, as they say, and new signee this week in Cameron Dukes. They signed him up. Toronto Argonauts released him earlier this season, and he hasn't played anywhere since. But hey, he's definitely been working out, and he will be the backup to Caleb Evans to start this game. But wouldn't surprise me a bit if maybe at some point you might have to see Cameron Dukes come in. And hey, he's threw himself a few touchdowns backing up Chad Kelly back in 2024. So definitely got some CFL experience. But the play, you got to take the over. I think we see plenty of offense, even with Montreal, and even if BC might do all the bulk of the heavy lifting here in this one. BC, Montreal, as I said, this BC defense can definitely give up points. Montreal themselves, last three games, giving up about 26 points. BC giving up about 28 points. And that gives us about a 54. And this totals at 51.5. Yeah, only one way for me to go here in this one. And that's take the over in game 2 of the doubleheader here on Saturday. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Week 11 report of the CFL. Have yourself a wonderful Week 11 with your CFL bets. Always, quick note, my best bets in the CFL this week are over at TonysPicks.com. Hit the link. You can head over and find my best bet of the week in the CFL over at TonysPicks.com. Make it a good one, everybody. See you next week, Week 12. Till then, have a good one.